So much of this comes down to pure belief. Your belief that you can do this. Your belief that you are competent enough to protect your own space. We're at different levels of sensitivity. Some people are not sensitive to energies. Some people are super sensitive to energies. I only came about this information out of my quest for spiritual self-preservation. Not just physical, spiritual. My spiritual well-being needs to be intact. It needs to be strong. Spiritual warfare is what's actually taking place on the planet. What we're seeing on the physical level with these deceptions and manipulations and wars and invasions, mass murders, that's a reflection of something darker that's behind that. When we start addressing that darker force that's behind that, it attracts energies that come back and look in our direction. And they look right at us and come right at us in different forms. And it's like, what the fuck are you looking at? You want to back the fuck up, or you want me right up in your space? Those energies do come into our space in so many different forms. The issue is grounding that out and not letting things come in to distract you. It's like literally from Star Wars, where he throws the lightsaber at Luke's feet and says, "Pick up that lightsaber and strike me with your weapon. I can feel the dark force inside you, Luke." What he's saying is, go ahead and be angry with me. Go ahead and be violent with me. Strike me down. Who are we to be manipulated into fighting with other people? We don't have to. Who are we to be manipulated by our own lower selves and say, how dare him, how dare her say such to me? Like that happened to me. That's not healthy. That's that part of our lower self that we got to ground out. Maybe we're thinking something that we think is ourselves. Oh, I really don't like this person because such and such and such and such. If you're not clear and you're not grounded and there's foreign energy coming in, who's to say that's not happening to a whole lot of people? What I can see, though, is patterns. Where I see that energy come in and start attacking someone. Somebody was protecting me in a forum last night, and there were multiple energies coming at her at once. It wasn't a big deal, but we were both, and everybody in there is basically good. But the fact is, why are we fighting? What are we fighting for? Because this thing was instigated. It's the energy. It's no one's fault. It's an energy that we don't want to participate in. That's like saying us all a secret code. Fight, fight, fight. We don't want that. And I started thinking, whoa, that'd be pretty scary. To be in a situation where you got a community and physically in front of you, even though they're all your friends, they're fighting. You know, and there's fire starting. You're like, oh my God, can't we all just get along? You know, and that'd be quite something to deal with. But I think if we put our minds together and we ground out our own energy and we work the tools and we put our minds together, we could probably do some powerful things. If we could start with grounding ourselves and seeing, first of all, see the results and be ready for what happens. Start grounding that shit. There may be shit you ground out that hasn't been removed in a long time that you didn't even know was there. That's been with you for a long time, and you don't even know it. Who knows what it is? It could even be your own thoughts, your own pain. It doesn't have to be something, etheric or demonic. But your own thought patterns that are stuck in your body, that are keeping you stuck. We all got them. And I claim no perfection by making these series of videos. I got to sit there and do a disclaimer. There's a couple of martial arts techniques that I want to go over as well. Circular motion for those dealing with wide strikes. With all this talk about the knockout game, it's important that people at least think about, accurately, how would you defend yourself? What does it mean to be aware? What does it mean to deflect a large, powerful attack? There's got to be other things that people suggest other than automatically go to shooting someone. But I don't do it because, everybody's like, you have to be an expert. You have to be an expert. What belt do you have? As if the world is about belts and who can beat people up. It's about the knowledge. This knowledge that I'm sharing with you is not New Age. This knowledge is about self-mastery. This knowledge is about protecting what is yours, which is your body, on an etheric level, and thus you will see physical results. But the backlash is why we need to be consistent. Once we start going through this process of clearing out our spiritual body, and we start to notice patterns of people attacking us in similar ways, and it'll rotate who's doing the attacking. One day someone's accusing me of being in league with them. Them. It hasn't happened for a while, but it came through the other day. The next thing that's happening is someone's deleting videos to get back. And the next occasion, it's a major misunderstanding, and it's a public slandering. And the next occasion, you know, it's something else. It's something demeaning. Back in the old days, as I mentioned, when I was in Portland, people would think that I was funded or that I had money because I wore a jacket and I was in a studio. I was at Portland Community Media, and they didn't know what Access TV was. So I thought I was broadcasting from a secret spy hub. I could see the patterns. Some of you guys reporting to me in private messages, you're going through the exact same thing, and I'm getting other people that are reporting on what's going on astrologically. The planets, they're in retrograde. Jupiter in retrograde. We're looking at the sun. We're now in solar maximum. Even though it's not a very active cycle, it's still the maximum portion of the cycle, and that's where it seems like there's more supernatural things going on. I even think there might be more connections between UFO sightings and perhaps alien energy, archon energy, interfacing with our world during peaks in solar activity. I know this is a new concept. I know this is really out there for some people, but I think it's the greater reality. You know, these planets and energies coming into our field, there's some non-human energies involved with what's taking place here and what's taking place in the world of consciousness. So the battlefield is here, folks. It's around your body, especially those of you that are women, women of light. You guys get attacked the most because of your feminine energy. And those of us that understand feminine energy that are men, we get attacked as well because there is a war on the feminine energies. And it's not necessarily coming from a masculine perspective. It's coming from an evil perspective that also wants to get in there and push our buttons when we show our masculine energies. Whenever this stuff comes, my own buttons get triggered and they get pushed. And, you know, I got to start reflecting on stuff. Just checking a message there. And when those buttons come up, there are certain things that come up for me in the growth process, okay? There's a couple things, but what I'm thinking about right now is not necessarily reacting. You know, I met someone, he says, hey, it's not your fault you're a nigger. Someone that I met in downtown Trinidad, where's this person coming from? There's an evil trying to hit my buttons and get me to be reactive and fight. Twice in a single week when I was out in the yurt, I got attacked for race, for skin color. One guy's accusing me of being a terrorist, I mean, as racism, because I flaunt what I am, because I'm proud of what I am, of being someone that speaks up for what's going on globally, and being one of the few from that bloodline. I'm proud of that. That's not ego. I wish more should be doing that. I wish more were doing that. But that's my role that I'm fulfilling as a soul in this body. So people will come and try to attack and play that race card. The next week, someone's attacking me thinking I'm completely white, even though I'm just half white. He's Spanish, he's Hispanic, and he's asking me for money. I don't have the money. He says, F you, you're white. So what does that make me? A rich boy? I'm living out in the middle of a yurt with nothing. I've seen the patterns. And now I'm calling bullshit. I'm starting to see where it's coming from. I'm seeing the patterns, and I've had good friends in my life